I wish the drone would like drop us off at particular areas. That would be really nice. Let me grab some bright pollen here. At least I think that's what the... No, that's a soospore. Do we need... Okay, what are you? Bright pollen. Sweet. Alright, time to turn propulsion on. We're going this way, correct? What is down here? Shed feather. I don't think we need any more shed feathers. Okay, but you... I should probably go back. Come on. There! Oh, that was weird. You slowed down while you're in... while you're crossing over the strands. It's so... That is such a great detail. Like, look at that. Look how slow we went for that second. Is there nothing down there? Okay, I guess not. Tangled roots. Okay. Alright, I believe... Okay. I think it was this one that I needed. Well, maybe not. Maybe I don't need bright pollen, but... It was probably these 3 rocks here. Animal tissue. Okay. Maybe it was the bright pollen on that rock. We'll find out. More animal tissue. Alright, Alright. Did not get that one. A germinating garden. Another chitin plate. So what is over here? Plant tissue. fascinating. Okay. There's that thingy. Or it could be like one of the feathery ones. Alright. Drone, come get me. Okay, you. Okay. You. Chitin plate. No relevant taxonomy. Feather arm. Clogged with pollen. Gardener taxonomy updated. Silken root. Sea silk taxonomy entry updated. And this is new. Petal shoot. No taxonomy entry. Oh no, the taxonomy entry was updated. As Seatophora, gardener. Theories. Analysis of a gardener's arm filled with pinnules has shed some light on the relationship between them and the pillar gardens. The debris coating the sample is actually pollen from various garden species, suggesting that gardeners are an important part of the cross-pollination process. This means their contribution to the ecosystem is not just limited to pruning the blooms, they help propagate them too. Indeed, given their roaming paths from pillar to pillar, they must have some way of communicating and ensuring that no one garden becomes wilted, or ensuring that no one garden becomes wilted or overgrown. This could be an eusocial hive structure or a territorial signature they leave behind. Either way, they're a well-coordinated team of marine landscape gardeners. Sketch. Pretty. Yeah, they look like, a lot of these look like plants and not animals, which is really interesting. Punctifolia, shimmer blooms. Analysis of a shimmer bloom shoot has revealed a coiled stalk which each shimmer bloom possesses, allowing them to control their height in the water. This means that if a shimmer bloom grows beyond the optimum depth of photosynthesis, thank you, it is able to extend its stalk and rise in the water towards the surface. However, due to the constant sunlight, which is an effect of the Gliese 667 cc's tidally locked orbit, shimmer blooms also use this ability to retract themselves away from the sun in order to protect themselves from cell damage. These beautiful plants are highly attuned to their environment, and I think of no better species to give Monet's name to. It is a name that deserves to live in this place. I'm sorry I can't do more. Aw, so culture, Monet. That's pretty cool. So we don't know if Monet is still alive, right? Yeah, I just read that. Okay, theories. Every time I start recording one of these, I have to yawn all the time. I was surprised to discover that the sea silk does not end in roots. After finding a damaged strand, I found it emanating from a kind of silken ball that I initially took to be a root. However, in a lab analysis, it was revealed to be an entirely separate creature. The sea silk is a product of the plant-like limb of this organism. I discovered the root itself to be able to to put down, but also retract strands of sea silk from within. It's an unusual fusion of creatures. Is this a symbiotic relation or a parasitic one? Regardless, these curious creatures and their growths are the bridge builders of the pillar ecosystem, turning isolated gardens into connected network and helping them flourish. Ugh. Alright, so let's see what else. Alright, I think that's yeah, so far that's everything that's in this area. It might just be everything that's in this area. And now we gotta go do this area. But then, once we do that, we can go back and do the drop-off here. Yes. Alright, make sure I am topped off with power and oxygen. Yeah, look good. Oh, wait. I can get samples of things while I'm out. Sphere fragment. Okay. I do not want to be out here any longer than I need to. New species logged. What do you have to tell me, Ellery? These strange little creatures are getting a big name. Bivalve bloom veins. What do you think? I like it. I like it too. We can log them into the taxonomy back at base. Alright. I cannot stay out here very long. Come on. I would like to find... Okay, so we're getting back into territory that we know about. Sweet. Go. Maybe I can get some stuff. Oh yeah, this one's like only 7% oxygen. This one is 40% oxygen. Sweet. Okay. Oh shit, there's something over here. Or I just missed that on the original. I guess I did. Okay. There we go. Pretty sure it was over here that I needed to go, right? Okay. Okay. Nest workers. Do the nest workers give more? I can't remember. I'll have to... I mean, I could just look at the details that it's giving me right now. Oh, it gives power. I mean, I guess I could use that. Yeah. Okay. So the only way to go is this way. Can I really not go? How do I get to the... I guess I don't. How did I get there in the first place, though? Pretty sure I found most everything. So this goes back up to the way station. Let's go. Sync complete. I just want... All right. Still no taxonomy, or did we get, nope. No taxonomy. What is that thing that we named? Multiple taxonomy entries updated. Nice. Bivalve bloom vein taxonomy entry updated. And you're from a completely different area, so no relevant taxonomy. I might have to do some more research on you. Animal novi. Myometisha. Bivalve bloom vein. Bloom veins conceal themselves in bronze-colored shells most of the time, only coming out when the opportunity to feed presents itself. Highly attuned to the currents and flows of the bloom, bivalve bloom veins take advantage of any break in the bloom's flow to unfold from their shells and feed. They feed primarily on the bloom's microbial growth itself, able to quickly establish and maintain a feeding zone of oxygenated water. When a bloom vein tires, it will then retreat back into its shell, burying itself in the silt once more. I would like to understand more about how the bloom veins are able to feed directly on the microbes of the bloom, considering the extremely high toxicity. Perhaps something we uncover here could be useful in the future expeditions into the unforgiving landscape of the bloom. Behavior. Sampling and analyzing bubble growths from the bloom shows that they are a form of algae, but with the incredible adaptability. They have a distinctive chemical structure, but notable to the study of bloom veins is the presence of a compound similar to domic acid within bloom bubbles. Domic acid is a neurotoxin known to produce memory loss and confusion in animals, which suggests that the erratic and frantic feeding behavior of the bloom veins when feeding is, in reality, a form of frenzy brought on by the consumption of neurotoxin. How this process isn't deadly to the bloom veins is unclear. The volumes of neurotoxin they are consuming are vast, enough to kill a human adult. Perhaps if I can directly examine a bloom vein, or at least a shell, I could understand their resistance. Theories. After being lucky enough to come across an entire bloom vein shell, analysis has provided some possible explanations for the creature's neurotoxin resistance. The shell itself was found to have radial patterns of tiny holes in certain areas, all of which were found to have a high concentration of the bloom neurotoxin. It seems that when the bloom vein is in its hidden resting state, it exudes the neurotoxin through its shell, processing the glucose and the bloom growth separately. This exuded neurotoxin coats the bloom vein shell and the surrounding area, making the creature potentially deadly to any predator. This adaptation of the bloom is therefore a highly effective defense mechanism, even if the bloom vein itself is constantly on the edge of a frenzied neurotoxic-induced death. What a way to go. Look at it! Look at its eyes! They're staring right at you. It's like a nautilus and a marlin all together. Alright, bacteria novae. More bloom froth behavior. I feel like nothing has changed. Ability to actively modify their internal chemistry to whatever conditions they find themselves in. Blooms appears to have diverted by consuming metallic coin. Yeah, nothing has changed. Alright. So, let's see what else. Yeah. So I was in this area, right? And then... So what are some landmarks to look out for? So there's this big swath. Okay, so this kind of looks like a cow skull. Like here's the horns and then the head part of it. So we want to go to like the crown of the skull and then try to get into like the nasal cavity right here, right? So let's see if we can do that. So this looks, let's look for this crown. I believe it's going to be down this way. I think I can see where the horns start. Okay, 7 is a lot despite what I previously perceived. Okay, so it's not taking us into the skull proper. Okay, so here is, looks like right here is the crown of the skull, right? Okay, and then okay, we only got one of those. So just really It's like, does not look like there's any other way to go. It's gonna be like a really roundabout way of getting to the nose. Mm-hmm. And then the nest workers are also like 40% oxygen. Like, I don't even know where you're taking me. I feel like this is not the way. Yeah, this is where we came in. Need to keep hold of that. Okay. Okay. Emergency backup oxygen. Okay, so if we head in the vicinity of, oh, here we go. Right, okay, so there's like a whole potential, like, route that I just never took. But it's still not taking me to the crown or to the nose. Okay, we're gonna try to get to, come on, do it to it, please. We need to get to the way station fairly quickly. I don't think we need any more. Okay. Okay. Let's top off our oxygen. Come on, just grab it. Okay, so we're above 50% now. the way station's that way. Okay. Here we go. Let's just call the drone. Progi, did you lock yourself in the bathroom again? No, he's just sitting by the door. Okay. Alright. Gonna put you in here. Just because. And we're just gonna go. Okay, so the chitin and these things, which I don't think we've had an epiphany on yet. No. So those. Yeah. Alright, now. Okay, so we didn't get a sample from the crown. What is this nonsense? Ugh. Alright. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on. Alright, but that's gonna have to be later today. Let's do that thing where I can't figure out where the... There it is.